All right, welcome back. Our GMC Sierra tweet of the night from the Pittsburgh Penguins congratulating Logan Cooley, selected by Arizona, third overall pick. That makes him the highest selected draft pick from Pittsburgh in NHL history. We wish him all the best out there. There's a guy who was a Pittsburgh product who's going to be a free agent, Vincent Trocheck. We talked a lot about him. Marc-Andre Fleury, though, Andrew, and there was some talk that, he might end up trying to figure out a way to get to Pittsburgh. About 5 different teams wanted him. He stayed right where he is in Minnesota. 2 years, $7.5 million, I believe the deal is. That's a good deal for them because I still think he could play. Also today, Matt Murray said no to a trade that would have sent him to Buffalo.
I don't get that one. I think Buffalo's closer to winning than Ottawa, even though the Senators got Alex DeBrincat for practically nothing. What a steal that was.
It really was.
By Ottawa. One of the few good moves that organization has made in the last couple of years. Bob, didn't you think, we've debated so much about Fleury, didn't you think he took less money than he was worth? $3.5 million a year? That cut his pay in half 2 years after winning the Vezina Trophy.
Yep. Well, I was surprised because I was gauging, the fact that he was recently a Vezina winner at $5 million, which still would have been a pay cut. But, I guess he likes Minnesota. Or, I thought Toronto might make a play for him, too. I think they're a goaltender away from winning a Stanley Cup. So we'll see. But it's going to be interesting. Meantime, we have a lot of people on the lines here, Andrew, so I'm going to get right to them. And we'll begin with Bob in Latrobe first up tonight. What's up, Bob? How are you doing?
Hello, Bob.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you for taking my call once again.
Sure.
And I also want to say congratulations to Bob on his 40 years.
Thank you.
At the station.
Yep.
We love him.
Well, you're a good man. I appreciate that, and it's getting kind of embarrassing now, but I appreciate it. Believe I'm humbled, but what's your question?
Well, my question is I haven't heard much about Kasperi Kapanen, and I've been wondering, where he's going to end up or what might be going on.
Well, that's a good question,
Hopefully
Bob.
on another team.
Yeah, but how do you get him there?
Would be my
what do
vote.
you get? Would you just do it to move the salary?
He's restricted. You don't have to offer him a deal. You can let him become a free agent. I would do that.
What
We had
about
Tyler
Zucker?
Kennedy on our show today. Well, Zucker, you're stuck with. You made your Zucker bed, Bob, and now you got to sleep in it, and it's not Egyptian cotton sheets like your bed in Robinson. I think Cook's made that joke 1,000 times on this show, so I just stole one from him. Okay, you're stuck with Zucker, right? You're not going to buy out another guy. You're already paying Jack Johnson to win Stanley Cups in Colorado. Now what are you going to do? You got to hope Zucker turns into the player you traded for a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I guess. What were you saying about Tyler Kennedy? He was on your show and what?
Tyler Kennedy said Kasperi Kapanen, see you later. And Tyler's a bright guy, and he's very much involved and still following the team closely. And he goes, I don't like to drag a guy and kill a guy, but how many opportunities does he need to have and get? He said he'd be over it. Move on.
Yeah.
They've tried him twice. It didn't work. Let's go. Get somebody else in here.
And it's a shame because he has the speed, and when he does play the way he's capable, he's a really good goal scorer, but it's so infrequent that it leads to a lot of disappointment. Let's go out to Mike in Oakland. Mike, you're on the air. What's going on, man?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Again, I want to say congratulations, Bob, on 40 years.
Thank you.
It's always been fun watching you. Listen, I want to talk briefly on the Pirates, and I want to bring up 2 players and get your thoughts, both of you. I am really concerned about the long-term development and what's going to happen with Cruz and Hayes. Okay, let me just say, Hayes has been an extreme disappointment. He is hitting under 200 in his past 30 games. He's hit 172 in his last 15 games and 167 over his past 7 games. This guy has no power. He's not driving in any runs, and he can't hit now. And I'm worried because the Pirates don't have a good history of developing not only pitchers but hitters also. And Cruz is hitting 206. So I just want to get your thoughts on: is there a cause to be worried? Because I'm starting to think this contract that Hayes got is going to be another Polanco where they're just going to be a bust.
Hopefully you're wrong, but you might be right. And, the thing about Ke'Bryan Hayes is his defense is good. He had a kind of a blip at the beginning of the year, but he's been solid since then. The hitting, though, has never really been there, even in the minors, Andrew. And so I always worried about that as far as a consistent amount of power from a third baseman. There's still time for him, but, man, it is a little concerning, I think, anyway.
Well, you're waiting him for grow into his power, and it just hasn't happened this year. I wonder, going all the way back to opening day when he hurt his arm, is there lingering effects of that? hurt last year, hurt again very early in the season. Last year when it happened, they shut him down. This year they didn't, and he's played through it. And he's played marvelous defense, but look, I'm not paying third baseman to win gold gloves. Okay, this isn't 1965 with Brooks Robinson or whatever, 1970. This is 2022. You need some power. You need some offensive production there. He hasn't done it. So I don't think he's going to turn into a Polanco because at least you know defensively he's going to be great. Polanco was terrible defensively. But I do wonder long-term what kind of player he is. I don't think he's a guy you build around. I think he's a complementary piece on a really good team.
Yeah.
I think on a good team, Bobby hits low in your lineup, like he's a 7-hitter or something like that.
Do you have a problem, by the way, with what we've seen? It's become a regular, not just here, but everywhere, with these guys in lopsided games having to go and use position players all the time. I mean, Van Meter is probably going to have more appearances than some of the guys they're going to bring up at the end of the year.
Well,
it's not a good look, but I don't know what the solution is other than expanding the amount of pitchers you have on your roster.
Well, hold on a second, though. You know, there's no rule that says you have to take a starting pitcher out of a game after 2 turns through the lineup. The Pirates believe in that now, apparently.
Yeah, I hate that,
Quintana
too.
was cruising again. Well, so hold on. I'm not going to create a rule now because baseball says we don't want to pitch our starting pitchers that much. You know, like, to me, what I would want to do is I would put a stern letter out to these teams that said, you know, we have a big problem with you guys making a mockery of the game, because that's what it is. You know, that's something Rob Manfred should address. It is a joke. We're not going to give you extra pitchers, but we're going to tell you right now, if you start using these position players, you're going to hear from us, and we might do something about it, because we don't want to watch this. Bob, you don't pay, you know, even the nosebleeds for the Yankees series were close to $100. You don't want to pay that kind of money to watch a guy throw 50-mile-per-hour pitches. Unless it's a knuckleball.
Not unless you're a Yankees fan and you want to see more home runs, which is exactly what you got late in the game. But I agree with you. It is a problem. Somebody needs to address it. However they address it, they should address it because it's become an epidemic. We have this tweet here from Kevin Davis who says, what's the deal with Contreras being sent back? And then my Twitter timeline just changed. Hold on a minute. I'll get it.
Well, Bob, while you're trying to find that, I just
out?
wanted to be the latest to congratulate you on your 40 years. While you're doing that, I just want to make sure.
I appreciate it, Andrew.
I'm
Thanks.
getting that out there from my end. I want to congratulate you on 40 years.
Well,
but anyways.
It's been a good week of that, and I appreciate all the people who've reached out. It really, truly means a lot to me. But he just wants to know, what is it? I think it's more just one of those things. He pitched today. He pitched well. 6 innings in the first game, gave up 1 run, 7 strikeouts. They needed a second pitcher today. They probably put him on a taxi squad. We're getting near the All-Star break.
I think they're going to rest him.
Yeah, and I think that's prudent probably.
Well, yeah, because he only pitched like 60 innings last year.
Right.
So you don't want to. Now, this is one of these stats that I do think that there's a lot of credence in. You know, you have big jumps for pitchers. That can do long-term damage to elbows and shoulders. And there's a lot of data that backs that up. So, yeah, like I don't want to completely treat him with kid gloves where I shut him down for the year, but you pick your spots. I think this is a good spot to rest him 1 turn through the rotation plus the All-Star game and bring Contreras back after that.
More calls on the way right here on Pittsburgh CW. I was going to say 93.7 The Fan, but I have a feeling they're still in Pirate postgame, Andrew. Are they?
They
I
are.
don't know. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't say, but sometimes we do put this program on the radio as well. We'll be back right after this.